Hey, good afternoon. It's Keith. This is Keith's Commercial Crowd. Zoom. We've been doing this about almost 3.5 years, actually, guys. You know that? I think I started this up like right away. That'd be 3.5 years ago. This is Monday. It is July 29th. July 29th, people. It's flying, guys. It's flying.
I'm
So
going to
I'd
get
like to
ahead of
welcome
you,
you.
Keith.
What's that,
It's,
Max?
today is the lasagna day.
The Lasagna Day.
Yeah, National Lasagna Day. So you go. There you go.
There you go. So thank you, Max. On my calendar, it doesn't show that. Sorry. That's okay though. I will take that. So I've completely forgotten what I was going to start to say.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Hey, while you're here, let's go ahead and talk about. There's a lot of things we could talk about. One thing I like to talk about is what's going on. We do these Zooms every week, and I know there's a lot of people who I'm not sure how many people in EXP commercials doing anything like this. Are you guys aware of it? Somebody else doing this at all? Is it just us? Man, we need to get the word out then. We need to do this, get some more people on here. But I trimmed down my list today. I actually went in and looked at all the people that were getting this or that I was sending invites to. And I trimmed out at least 20 people today. You know, it was more than 20 people, 30 people. And what I did was I went to a workplace and I looked to see if they were still with EXP.
Yep.
And they were not with EXP. So they're off. And there's quite a few. I was just surprised. But that was okay. I trimmed this down. I think there's now I only have a list of about 159 of us that are getting this invite and who could be on this Zoom today and who gets this recording since this is being recorded. All 159 of you, if you're not here today or you haven't been showing up the last few months, join us, please. We really talk about a lot of interesting things and we gear it around who's here. We have speakers sometimes. Other times we gear on who's here, and this is what we do. Welcome, Blair. All right. So I'm just putting that plea out to you because I'm recording this. Today's July 29th, 2024. A couple of things going on. I realize a lot of us like this idea because we're about the only ones doing this, coming together on Zoom at least once a week, just for whatever reason that's an EXP commercial. But there are things going on in person. And I know I'm talking to the choirs right here on the screen, but this is to the benefit of anybody that watches recording. You've got to start going to in-person meetings, in-person socials, in-person whatever in your part of the country. That state you're in, that chapter of SIR or CCIM, those realty people, you've got to go to those meetings. They got to know who you are. Because again, just last week, I was on some Zoom. I don't remember which one it was. Oh, Calvin was there. It was last week. I can't remember. It was Saturday. That's right. That's right. Saturday. Rich, Calvin, Max, Blair. Paul, you won't believe this, but somebody was talking about they did a build event. Calvin was talking about, right, Calvin? He goes to Build in Dallas, the one that Daniel puts together for the XP commercial. Calvin's there. And he says that practically everybody there still doesn't know that there's an EXP commercial brokerage. Is that right, Calvin?
That is correct.
I don't understand, people. I don't understand it. we're going to head on. We're going to be at 4 years on November 6th. 4 years, guys. So is it their fault they don't know that we exist? Or is it our fault they don't know we exist? Which one is it, guys?
It's everybody's fault.
Yep.
No, it's not. It's our fault. From day one, it's our fault. We need to tell them that we exist. And how are you going to know that? How are you going to do that? Calvin, how'd you do it? You showed up, didn't you? Well, you had to show up because Daniel, put that together. You had to be there. I understand. This is being recorded, Calvin, just in case you came on late here. So yeah, I'm just letting you know that it goes out now down. I trimmed the list down. We got about 159 on my calls now on my list because I purged at least 30 people this morning that aren't even in EXP anymore. I looked them up on Workplace. They're not even there anymore. So, but so you've got to go to events. Let's see. I'm looking at Scott Stein and Blair. You got that one in New Jersey at the end of this week, Friday and Thursday and Friday. If you could get yourself over there, pay your, I don't know what it is now, $99, get in the middle of like 300, 400 EXP Realty people, let them know that we're there. Let them know we exist, guys. You know, it's so frustrating. Rich, and I don't know if you went to yours. I don't know if you made it or not. I can't remember. Anyway, it's no big deal. So I'm saying all this to say that Paul and I and Max, and then the people here in Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, we continue to try to do in-person meetings at least every 2 months. Okay. I'd like to go back to every month, but you know, it gets kind of tough to get speakers and sponsors, but every 2 months is fine. But Paul and I, and if Max decides to step up, Paul, that'd be great. If we could, we are putting together, we're only what, 7 weeks away, Paul? Is it 7? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're 7 weeks away from September 13th in Nashville. Now, there's at least one person on this, 2 people on this call here that have been asked to be speakers. I'm sure they're working on that hot and heavy, right, Rich? uh, and then we've got 3 other people that said that they'd probably be speakers as well. Let's see, did I lose somebody here? My screen just changed here? Somebody dropped off. Brent. Did Brent leave? Brent left. Okay. All right. So Calvin, Daniel, you guys want to pop up to Nashville September 13th? Think about it. Come in on 12th. You know, spend the weekend in Nashville if you haven't been there. So
I think
September.
Paul mentioned it to me maybe 2 months ago before I
2
left.
months ago.
By
See?
the way, I just got back. I just got back from a long Asia trip. I was in Asia
Yeah.
for 2 months, and then I just got back a couple days ago, and then still trying to catch up with all the work and stuff.
Everything.
But it's in my calendar because when Paul and I spoke a few months ago, Paul, you remember? You
Yeah, I
have-
remember. We'll follow up this week.
Yeah. Yep.
So Paul, you say we got the venue. Is it the same place we were last time, that office building?
Yeah, same venue, same hotel.
We're gonna go to that hotel? Okay.
Yes.
They probably
They're-
updated by now, right?
You're within a block of each other. You know, you
Yeah.
can almost walk there, but it's a main road.
Yeah.
You know, we're still working on our speaker list to solidify it, but it'll be another good weekend.
Yeah. I think we're used to seeing about 7 or 8 different states represented whenever we have it in Nashville. Works out pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been having 50 people consistently and
Yeah.
sometimes more, hardly ever less. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of promoting it.
Yeah. And let me add one more thing. November, instead of Birmingham, we're gonna go ahead and do it in Atlanta. And we can't do it the first week of November because that's right after we finish EXP Con. Everybody's going home from EXP Con. I'm not sure everybody wants to just pop into Atlanta the very next week. So we're gonna delay it to the second week of November, but the first just for all you historians that are into this thing called history, November 6th, if you can remember, November 6th is when our first licensee started practicing as EXP commercial. Okay. So every year, November 6th is the unofficial birthday. Okay. I'm just going to let you know that. So this year will be 4 years. And we could celebrate a little 4 years there if you want to while we're in Atlanta, you know. So anyway, anything else do we want to talk about anything else about that, Paul? Any of our IRLs we're doing here? We're good.
No, this is my week to kind of pull it all together now. We've been working on it, but you know, people are on summer vacation and trips, and now that we're coming into August, school's gonna start up. People that have kids or grandkids are getting into the school year that I call it, you know, August through May. So September things will be back to normal, so to speak.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. You know, Calvin's here. Hadn't seen him in a while. Didn't ask the question on Saturday, but Calvin, got a question for you. You were gone 2 months. You're over in Asia. I know most of that was personal stuff. Did you have opportunity to try to connect up with EXP anywhere in Asia?
Yeah, I talked to 2 brokers in Malaysia because
They're
I
in
was
Malaysia. Okay. Okay.
checking out some condos. So, yep.
All right. Are they in
Yeah,
our
talked to them
workplace?
Huh?
Are they in our workplace? The people?
No, no, no.
No? Oh, okay.
Well, they are non-EXP, but
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
was talking to them about the EXP model.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But I did not meet with anyone EXP over there because I was
But
in
it's okay.
Japan.
Yeah.
I was in Japan. I was in Shanghai. I was in Malaysia. Um, I thought we have EXP
Okay.
Japan.
So let me ask you, are you okay with, you want to give us fill in a little bit about why in the world should we be showing up at build events, EXP cons, anything going on? Do you want to, use the example last week, what happened or anything, or what? What do you think?
Yeah, so I got the opportunity to talk for a few minutes about EXP commercial on stage at the Build event last week with Robert.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of have EXP commercial brokers that was there to raise their hand so that people in the room know that we do exist, and just talked about how they can increase their revenue just by asking that one additional questions when they sell the homes or bought the house for their client. Is just to ask that one question: Do you need any help? Do you need any help in commercial? Because they control the relationship, right? They're selling homes, they're buying homes for their clients. Half of the time, the clients could be the senior management of a company or owners of the company or businesses that do need help in buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate. It's just that if they do not ask, the clients will go find somebody else to sell, buy or lease commercial for them. So I did,
Right.
yeah. But so anyway, so after that, I do have a few of the EXP residential agents came out to me and said, "Hey, I have potential clients that I want to refer to you, I want to connect with you." And same as Robert, because I know I see people flag him down, chase him down. It's like, oh, but it's always good to be in those events because you can connect with those agents that potentially can send referrals to you.
Yeah. Anybody got any stories on that?
So Keith, I'll just say I've got 3 of my listings right now are all because of relationships with people that are in residential EXP that know me. And why do they know me? Because I try to participate. I came through the Jay Nelson line through Rob Campbell, and apparently Jay Nelson and his wife Ashley are kind of running about a 2,000 agent group. So I fall in their tree, so to speak. But Jay does a Christmas party at his house every year. They have a Zoom meeting every Tuesday morning with over 100 realty agents on it. They have a Gatlinburg retreat in Gatlinburg, Tennessee every January, which he allows me a few minutes to talk about commercial. And those relationships eventually blossom. So it's taken me 2 to 3 years to get this going. But now the pipeline, people know that I'm the guy in Tennessee, so to speak. And
Yeah.
so 3 listings all came directly from EXP Realty people.
That's excellent. Excellent. Anybody else? What's that, Calvin?
No, I said that's great. That's a true testament about it's all numbers, right? Because 80,000+ residential agent versus 700+ commercial brokers. If you spend the time to farm or spend the time to talk to icon agents or leaders in different markets, there's potential deals to be had.
Yeah, you got icon agents, you got luxury agents, you got team leaders in the realty world. And it's like anything else, but you got like 10 to 20% of all of them do 80 to 90% of the business for the company. So that 10 to 20% need an OER. And let me tell you, when it comes to the foreign countries, you go to EXPCon. I mean, I'm just, if all you do is go to EXPCon so that you meet every country broker, because you're thinking ahead for yourself as far as how you do things in life when it comes to the rest of the world, they'll be there for you. You can meet every country broker. And that's all you need to know. You don't need to know all the agents in that country. You just need to know that broker, and that broker needs to know you. And things start rocking for you. I promise you. And you can go from that direction. That's when it comes to business. If you want to go out there and do agent attraction or recruiting, then you do like Calvin. You take your family vacations and you go whatever country you're in or whatever state you're in. You just go out there and start meeting people, right?
Tax deduction too.
You know, that's an interesting subject. When you're in real estate, I think everything you do is an expense, right? It doesn't matter what it is, it's an expense. That's just all there's, but you got to have an LLC to run it through, and you need to file your LLC as a subchapter S. That's the best way to do it. Most CPAs will tell you that. Works great that way. Anyway, that's a sidetrack there. Sorry, Paul.
I also want to say regarding the EXP system, the way we should be working it. So the agent who I spoke to today, I've known him for a while, but his eyes were kind of opened to say, hey, look, business is down a little bit due to high interest rates, the economy, the election year. He looked at this as an opportunity and said, you're going to be my go-to guy in Tennessee and we're going to start pursuing our team of 20 people are going to start asking people, do you own or have any commercial properties that, we can help you with? Now he's going to look like it's running through his team, but that's okay. I'm the end guy who's going to either co-broke or take over it and give him a referral fee. So that's a great, people's eyes are opening up, because a couple of years ago, they were just order takers selling houses left and right. Now they got to really work at it. And the guy that sold 4 houses a month, barely selling 1 a month. So they're looking for opportunities to make money. We bring them that opportunity.
Yep.
As an add-on.
Mhm.
Keith,
Yeah.
I think our biggest challenge is the fact that the majority of the realty people do commercial without anybody stopping them. And I'm not in favor of stopping the people, because growth is going to be growth. But that's what happens. I think we have a lot of folks that they practice both, because if they do go into commercial, they would not have the access to the MLSs. As a result, they feel, they kind of cut off part of their income. And the fact is the fact, that's the way it is. And that's the challenge. We should have some, I don't know what, way of kind of keep those people informed, whether it's going to be a weekly basis, monthly basis, or daily, whatever, that, there is a commercial division, and that's what we do, and that's what we practice, and this is the benefit. And that's biggest challenge I have here in Memphis is everybody that is here, they do both commercial and residential, but they are registered as realty people.
There's always going to be agents that's doing both. There's nothing that we can stop them from doing, right? Because everyone is 1099. So the way I looked at is to go build relationship with like top producers, because top producers that's so busy with the residential transaction, and they just don't want to mess with commercial deals. And if you focus on those smaller group of people, I think that's at least that's my strategy, right? Because I cannot stop because it's the same license. There's nothing you can,
right.
So the thing is, eventually they're gonna hit a wall with the limitation of their experience, knowledge, and access to resources, right? Because the thing is, a lot of time the residential agents, they are doing smaller deal, like I mean, the leasing deals and things like that, it's not to say smaller deal, but it's just maybe easier deal or like rather straightforward. But when they come across like challenging deals, they hit the wall, then that's where the light bulb moment is like, oh, I should have, you know, connect or partner with the commercial brokers. Just like on stage last week, I said, you know, 100% of zero is still zero, right? You can try to do it yourself, you know, whether the, you know, what's the closing rate? Is it going to be 100% or is it going to be 0%? Then why waste time trying to figure out yourself? Whereas if you, so that's kind of like, you know, rather than trying to, I just focus on like those icon agents, top producers, because they're already busy, right? With their production, with their social media, with, you know, their TikTok channel, whatever. They just don't want to mess with it. So focus on those. You know, I get it with the smaller market, you kind of have agents that's doing, well, heck, like smaller market, there's no specialty, right? Because if you specialize in a specific property sector in a smaller market, you may be, you know, starving, right? So that's why there's a generalist on smaller market.
Yeah.
Hey, Max,
Yes.
all those people in Memphis, make sure they show up September 13th, okay? Tell them come on over and join us. All of them. All those people doing both. I'd love for them to come join us so they can learn more commercial and they can do better. They can take advantage of more of the stuff that's going on. Bring them, baby. More the
You got
merrier.
it.
You can learn a lot. Rich.
Thanks, Keith. Hey, I just wanted to echo a little more on what Calvin said, but just as a reference point, as you and Max and Calvin knew, is that the whole idea of when Sperry was going to merge with EXP was that EXP was going to handle all the commercial.
Yeah.
In hindsight, 2020, that would have been a disaster because there's so many people that would have just been enraged at EXP Realty that they would not be able to do commercial anymore. And
Yeah.
to Calvin's point, I agree with you 1,000%, Calvin. You need to concentrate on the high producers, the icons, because they're the ones who really understand the business and their value and their expertise is in residential. Far too many times you've got these residential agents that think, you know, the carrot gets dangled in front of them, that they got a big commission, and they do more harm than good. They're not doing their clients any justice, that's for sure. And it's going to take, unfortunately, it's going to take a massive lawsuit for some knucklehead residential person to do a commercial deal to make the EXP legal folks realize this is silly.
Yep.
We should not allow them to do anything. You know, Coldwell Banker Commercial does not allow their residential agents to do commercial deals, period. And that's the way it should be. You know, if you want to, you know, look at the 30,000 foot view, there's two different, there should be two different licenses. There's no way a residential person should do a commercial deal, period. And consequently, I could never sell a house. I really could. I'm not kidding. Do I have the knowledge to do so? Sure. But the expertise? No, hell no. And even when Jim and I were flipping houses in the 20 teens, you know, we would hire the people that brought us the deal to sell the houses because that's
Yep.
their expertise.
That's
So,
right.
Calvin, you're dead on. It's a great way to concentrate. Usually the icons are smart enough to know to stay in their lane. And hey, and by the way, they will have relationships with people much more so because of their success that will have commercial deals and they'll want to pass them on because they want to make sure it's in good hands. And I guess the other thing that I still get, Keith, and I get this a lot, and I've been doing, you know, I get a lot of referrals over the years. Oh, here's a phone number. Let me make an introduction. I want 50% of the deal. I mean, come on, man. These guys just don't get it. Or even worse is the whole standard 25%, which is the whole basis of the NAR lawsuit anyway. So they have to understand, and I think we've spoken with Sean about this in the past. Obviously, Jim tried to fight that battle for 3 years to let him know that it's on a case-by-case basis, and it really depends on what you bring to the table. So in addition to letting the world know that we have EXP commercial, we got to let them know that what we do is difficult and that if you're going to just make a simple introduction, it's a 10% referral fee, not 25 or 50%. But if you're going to participate in the deal and you're going to spend money the way we do on marketing and you're going to make phone calls and you're going to follow up and do all the things, then great. Then it's going to be a higher percentage. So the education of these folks is going to have to be an ongoing and continuing thing. And, you know, I had actually had this conversation with Sean last week, Keith, because, you know, the situation that I had with my deal and them not promoting it because of the stupidity of this whole nonsense with me being, you know, I let Coldwell Banker do the paperwork on this instead of doing it myself or co-brokering it. And there just isn't that understanding of what we do. Hell, our own company, with all due respect, I know this is on tape, but our own company is a predominantly residential mindset company, does not really understand commercial. So it's up to us to educate them on it. I'll shut up before I get kicked out of the company.
Hey, Paul.
I want to add to that. So I'm always thinking about marketing, and I wish we had about a 2-minute video commercial that can, first of all, say what EXP commercial is quickly, you know, explain that we're here. And then all these things we're talking about, I have an idea. So the residential agent that asked me to help her on a 50,000 square foot building in Tennessee, when I went out there, she had a little yard sign for residential realtors, you know, in front of this massive 50,000 square foot building with a huge fence and everything. That's her sign. She put it in the MLS. It was maybe a sentence or two. There was nothing. I come in, we've got a 29-page OM. We've got a sign that was $500 to put up, you know, a 4x8 sign, double-sided. Most residential agents would fall over if you told them they had to spend $500 on one sign that they're probably going to throw away when the deal's done. You know,
I fell over.
They don't have the mentality of this is how it works, you know. So we could use compare and contrast in that video and say, are you willing to do this? This is what it takes. Rich mentioned making the phone calls, following up. They don't know that sometimes you're making 100 calls in a day on that property, and then you got to follow up and make another 100 calls next week, you know. So they need to see, you know, compare and contrast. I can see the video, the residential agent, here comes the commercial agent. Do you want this? Do you want that?
Yeah. Hey, Paul, hey guys, listen, so Eric and I brought a property to Eric. He's over in Georgia, and I did the co-brokering interstate thing. So we're both selling this property legally. He has a Georgia license, I have an Alabama license, and we put it out there through our channels, and we've already got, last week we had 3,312 hits on what's out there on our platforms of wanting information or checked out the property. And I said, Eric, you got a lot of follow-up to do. So, you know, needless to say, utilizing the resources we have, you can get your property out there to the world in a whole different world than the resources that the residential community has had to deal with. And the beautiful thing is EXP itself it has taken the lead probably for their industry, for the residential industry, saying, hey guys, listen, you know, NAR, it's a different world now. You know, follow our lead. We're taking it down the road. Our clients are going to love us. Our buyers' clients are going to love us. Our sellers' clients are going to love us. You know, so I mean, we're going in the right direction. Even though we have two different brokerages, we're doing this together, and I like that idea. I like the idea that you know, our people are on top of it. They've been on top of it ever since all this stuff hit the fan last year, right? All the different what not the word facts, but could be's, the what ifs and all that stuff is out there all over the world. You know, we've seen that in everything. So I think AXP is on top of it. But you're right, Calvin, he left already. Again, I drop back to what I've said for 3.5 years. It's up to us for our colleagues to know we're here and to know what it is we have for their clients. It's up to us. We got to do that. I say they're your number one source of business. I think most of you agree to that now. If you've been here long enough, they could be your number one source of business. The other source of business is from all of us who are veterans. We've been in the industry long enough. We already have the relationships with everybody else in commercial real estate. So we get business that way too. So that's true. So that's my commentary. I just think we're moving forward. EXP is moving forward. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that most of us don't know still. I like the idea that we're in 24 countries. We could actually just say, hey, got our own listing platform for 24 countries. Come to us. What do you need? You know, that's what we're working on, right? Is that, what's the word? Uncomfortable pause, or what do you call that?
Hey Keith, let me throw this in too. So I don't know how many people on this call talk to anybody in administrative at commercial, but occasionally I'll talk to Courtney Kreider. If I have a question about something. Sometimes I talked to Christopher Finko recently. These are names that most of us should be familiar with. But I know on Mondays you bring in guest speakers. It wouldn't be hurt to bring them in once in a while. Let them for 10 minutes tell us who they are, what they do, and how it affects commercial. And then
Okay,
they get to take a peek at what we're doing, like people do. And kind of just keep the commercial family together,
well, as you know, Angela and Lindy are the ones that
Yep,
provided that latest slide presentation that we have for
yes.
the talking points of EXP commercial. They gave that to us last month when we were doing the Tennessee meeting, right?
Yeah, and by the way, one other thing I want to mention. So my wife is EXP residential, I am commercial. We just signed up for the domestic partnership. So just to reiterate one more time, instead of Lisa and I both paying an 80-20 split to our respective brokerages, we will now have one cap at $20,000 a year under me. So Lisa is considered automatically capped all year long. When she sells a house and gets her commission check, she will not have 20% withheld. She's automatically at 100%. And then I have to get to the $20,000 cap with commercial.
Wait, whoa. So right now, today, if August 1st is your anniversary date and say this is August 2nd,
Yes,
anything Lisa does, she's already 100%.
yes. All she will pay is a $250 administration fee, her review fee of like $25, and her
Really?
insurance 25.
I didn't know that. That's a new thing.
I didn't know that either. And in addition to that, we pay
That's
a
huge.
$20,000 per year versus $36,000 per year.
Right.
And-
So
one more thing.
But her
She doesn't have to-
GCI is counting toward your 100,000 GCI, right?
That I don't know
That's
about.
what-
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
Is it?
Brent?
Yeah, I'm in the process of signing up. So he wants a copy of my marriage certificate. And I'm
Yes.
like,
Ah,
that was 39 years ago. I have no idea where my marriage certificate is. So I may have to do something on Adobe or something. I don't know. Oh, wait, this is recorded. Yikes. But yeah, Paul, you may have been going to say that also their fee of $79, $80 a month is waived as well.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a pretty significant
So
deal.
I would think, prior to what Paul said about this 100-0 split, it's our understanding you're both are working on that 100,000 GCI to the company, or, to turn in to get to 100-0. But for Paul to add, she's already at 100-0 split. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I think that's fantastic.
Plus, like Brent just said, you don't pay the $85 a month.
And you're not paying that? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so it's very, I don't know what the advantages is to EXP. The advantage to us as a couple is tremendous.
Yeah.
And instead of me sponsoring my wife, she went under my sponsor, which was Rob Campbell out of Atlanta. So there's a couple little quirks to it, but overall it's great. And anybody who's married and their spouse is doing residential, it's a great thing to think about. It's a great recruiting tool as well.
Wow.
Yeah, as Paul said, as I understand it, you become one entity, and your spouse's license rolls up together as one entity, and then you can go out and form groups or whatever.
Yeah, but that sponsorship thing, Paul, there's no way that was Rob her sponsor on day one?
No, I brought Lisa to the company, so she was
Well-
under me, so to speak.
Well, how then she can't change her sponsor.
Well, with
Yes.
this particular program that it's mandated,
Seriously?
yes.
Yeah.
It's part of the give and take. You get a lot, but you
Ah.
gotta, you take a lot, you gotta give some.
So I need to go talk to everybody. Rich, we need to talk to all those people that are in our downlines and say, hey, you guys married? I need to be the sponsor of both of you.
Right.
Get together and do that domestic thing.
Keith, that's a good thing though, to talk to the residentials about, to see if they have, their husbands are doing both. I mean, that,
Or
it's a really
wives,
great feature. I
husbands
wish
or
more
wives.
folks had this.
Yeah.
Well, I
Absolutely.
think it might be a good opportunity as well to get two people that are in realty, and maybe one of them does commercial, to go ahead and get them to change
Paul,
over.
where'd you heard that before? You ever heard that before?
Some tall guy in the bar in a convention somewhere mentioned it to me.
Every time I meet a couple at EXP Realty, that's the first thing I suggest. And I've been doing that since day one.
I think your
Best
pickup
of both
line,
worlds.
Keith, I think your pickup line was, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing, Paul? What are you doing, Lisa?
We're having a great time in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that was the first words out of his mouth. Yes. Amen. All right. Well, that was fun. Anything else anybody want to talk about? I mean, we've gone 42 minutes. Can you believe that? Just a phone call to get together. Wow. Dan, you think you might drive over September 13th?
Which September?
The one that we all do in September. I mean, if you have a different September of the year, that's fine.
Well, if it's still 110 degrees in Vegas, I would be looking to get out.
This September, that's showing up here pretty soon.
All right, all right. No, I'm not gonna make this one.
Okay, you're gonna make it over to Miami in October?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, Chuck, you got your mute off there, or mic off. What's up?
Good word, Muke.
Muke.
Hey, Brent, I had an issue. I had to figure out where the hell I got married last year.
Opportunity.
So check with the county records if you can remember the county, if you were of right mind at the time you got married, and you remember what county you were in, you can go ahead to county records and they should have a copy of the certificate.
Okay.
Yeah, that you think. Yeah. All right. Blair, you've been your usual self today, quiet. Anything you got to say today? You good? There you go. Nothing to say. He leaves it on mute. Nothing to say. Okay. Well, I'm going to end the recording, guys. Okay. Before I do, let me see. Let me cover everything. EXPCon last week of October. EXP commercial folks in person September 13th in Nashville. Build events, New Jersey and Detroit, and then at the end of this week, and then somebody's next week. I forget who. What else? Anything else? Any of us? Any of you want us to know? Invitation wise, in person, we can get with you or whatever. We can see you, hug you, have a drink, eat some food with you, whatever. Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna turn off. Chuck, anything new you want us to know? All right, let me turn off the recording. Here we go.